Shifting focus to a piece of breaking news, not just Turkey, Indian tourist numbers fell sharply for Azerbaijan to post-Operation Sindoor. They fell by two-thirds to just 9,934 Indian tourists in June compared to 28,315 in the same month last year. Azerbaijan tourism website even depicts a truncated map of Kashmir. That is a big update that is we are getting in from Azerbaijan, and we are joined by Aman Sharma on this broadcast. Aman, if you could walk us through this sharp decline in the number of Indian tourists traveling to Azerbaijan.
Well, Harsh, yesterday we had broken that Turkey was seeing almost Indian tourism being halved in the last 3 months after, the boycott Turkey campaign had happened post Operation Sindoor. And not just Turkey, the other country which has also been backing Pakistan at world forums, which is Azerbaijan, in fact, has seen an even sharper drop, 66% drop in Indian tourists going to Azerbaijan in the month of June. And shockingly, Harsh, on the Azerbaijan tourism website, we even saw a truncated map of Jammu and Kashmir which shows POK and Aksai Chin as not a part of India. The tourism figures which I have for the month of June for Azerbaijan show only about 9,934 Indian tourists have visited that country in June compared to 28,315 Indian tourists which went to Baku in the same month last year. That's almost a 66% drop. As I was saying, Azerbaijan has been open about its support for Pakistan. Even during Operation Sindoor, and May and June, Harsh, are the top tourism months for Indian to go to Azerbaijan. As many as nearly 24,000 Indian tourists went to the country in May. But it's a sharp drop to only about 9,900 in June. And apart from Turkey, as we said, Azerbaijan is the only other country which has openly supported Pakistan at all the global forums. In fact, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Asim Munir had paid a visit to Azerbaijan in May to thank the country, for its support. A trilateral meeting of Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Pakistan happened in Baku when Mr. Sharif went there. So it's very clear which side of the camp, Azerbaijan is. And interestingly, Harsh, till May, Azerbaijan described India as one of the key markets for its tourism sector. In fact, India contributed to the top 3 countries sending tourists to Azerbaijan. Indian arrivals had almost doubled to 108% in 2023 from 2022. So clearly, both Turkey and Azerbaijan are at the receiving end of this boycott campaign which started in India for both these countries because both had supported Pakistan during the course of Operation Sindoor, and Indians clearly showing their anger by, shrugging away from these very two popular destinations till May.
Right, Aman. But Aman, do tell our viewers, were these nations not aware of the influx of Indian tourists when they openly supported Pakistan during Operation Sindoor?
Well, Harsh, they were, as I was saying, the Azerbaijan, in fact, India is among the top 3 countries visiting Azerbaijan in 2024. For example, Indian arrivals in Azerbaijan had reached almost 2.44 lakh. And this is a 108% increase compared to about 1.17 lakh tourists in 2023. So the Azerbaijan tourism, in fact, in a big way is dependent on India. In Turkey, the Indian proportion of tourists going to Turkey is much, much lesser. But still, I think the way the tourists are decreasing, both these countries would be very worried, especially Azerbaijan with this drop in Indian tourists, because in a way, their economies also depend a lot on tourist inflow, which comes from various countries, especially India. But both these countries, Turkey, in fact, is more guilty on this count because not only has it been supporting Pakistan, it has also been arming Pakistan against India. These drones that we found in India, which were sent to India, were all Turkish-made drones supplied to Pakistan by Turkey. So India has been making it stand very clear that apart from these 2 countries, Turkey and Azerbaijan, no other country has really backed Pakistan very, very openly during Operation Sindoor. And both these countries are now being made to pay by Indian tourists, who used to go to both these countries, spend a lot of money there on tourism. But now Indian tourists are increasingly shunning both these countries.
Right, Aman. Many thanks, Aman, for that crucial update. Now we're slipping into a very short break. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay with us.